I have two new decks. This is going to be a new spread, different interpretation, okay? So we're revamping this whole monthly reading, honestly, because the 10 card spread was very energetically draining for me to read. So I'm doing a different spread, a spread that I designed just so that it can give me a better focus and the information will come out a little bit more clearer, which alleviates a lot of the energetic kick for me. So it should clear up. And I'll go over the way this is going to be laid out when I pull out the cards. You've got a few jumpers. So first of all, one of the messages I was getting for you is that I feel a lot of you have somebody significant in your life that you have a very strong connection with. And this is, I feel like it's more than just love. It's more like a spiritual, a very safe, they provide a safe haven for you. And for whatever reason, I feel some longing. I feel like they're really attractive as well. I feel some longing in your hearts. I also feel you're missing home. I feel like you're possibly on the road, missing home. I feel like you're missing this the sense of security. I feel that for some reason you feel inadequate with this person. They might be very successful, they might be very grounded and stable, and they might have their life together. And you feel, for some of you, not all, you feel like you don't. And that's what you're trying to go and make and create for yourself out in the world. And you might be traveling excessively and you might be missing home. Pay attention to, getting enough sleep. I feel like whatever you're doing out in the world, be honest with yourself. What is it that you're hoping to achieve? Are you just trying to achieve financial abundance? Or are you just trying to prove to others that you can do it? Because these are things that you really have to re-examine why you're doing it and if it's making you happy. Because I feel like this is constant yearning for home, for comfort, for a place, a permanent place to rest your head. And all this traveling is really, it's not conducive for any of that. So think about what it is that you're sacrificing and for what ends, okay? That's going to be something coming through. I feel like you are there are people around you with a lot of financial abundance, and I feel like it is something that you want to emulate, and it's an energy that you want to capture for yourself so that you can create more financial abundance for yourself and for your own future as well. And as a result of that, just make sure you are not neglecting, the spiritual growth, the emotional relationships in your life either. Okay, so I'm going to pull out one more card, and this one. Okay, so we have good cards. All right, so this is how this is going to work. I have four clusters here. Each of them will, depending on the card that shows up, each of them will address one aspect of your life. We have the advice column here, row here, and this is the direction that you're supposed to take, okay? And this is basically your universal guidance coming through for this month and possibly for the next few months. So let's talk about the first cluster here. I definitely feel a lot of restlessness, lacking sleep with this Nine of Swords. This is a lot of staying up very, very late, being unproductive as well. So I feel like not only is it insomnia, but it's stress. And it's also not getting restful sleep. So the environment around you can be quite loud. You might have animals, children as sources of distraction for you. You might be also plugged in electronically, dealing with a lot of communication when you're supposed to be sleeping. So a lot of communication late at night, keeping you up. There's also, just overall lack of sleep, stress, worry, anxieties as well. It's paired up with the Chariot, and the Chariot deals with travel, communication, long distance. Okay, both of these cards show to me that you are potentially very destabilized. Like you don't have a sense of home right now. You might be traveling a lot for work. You might be traveling for in your field of work, or overall, there's a lot of demands placed on your time, and people are dispersed geographically. So you have to like make trips frequently in order to do whatever it is that you're doing. If you're in the transport business, this is understandable, but make sure you turn off the phone or turn off the computer or whatever, and don't allocate the time for you to get proper sleep, because this is going to take a very, very heavy toll on your body in terms of, creating ailments, stress. And with cancers in general, a lot of anxieties and worries can manifest themselves in physical symptoms. Okay, so mental energies can affect physical health. Well, you want to be very careful about that. At the same time, the Chariot is a card about success. This is about figuring out where we stand in the world, figuring out that little, where we fit in the greater scheme of things. So I feel like there is some worries, anxieties about feeling adequate. And I know that water signs deal with overall a lot of insecurities, but I feel like this is something that you want to create for yourself. You're making some sacrifices, sacrificing sleep, sacrificing stability in your life in order to achieve some type of long-term goals, okay? And just be careful that your head is in the right place, that the end goals is worth the sacrifices, all right? What is coming through with the second cluster here is we have the King of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So these are very, very positive cards. So in terms of the way that I'm reading this, even though it's a person, I feel like this is a card about ambition. This is a card about long-term planning, creating some type of a name, a recognition, or wanting the situation, like the wheels of fate in your life, to turn in your favor. And I feel like for a lot of you, you felt stuck for quite some time, and this is the month in which you're taking charge of the situation. You're forging ahead and you're methodically planning out, I've been waiting and things are just not happening fast enough or in the way that I want, and I'm done waiting for the right opportunities. I'm just going to get out there and grab them, okay? So I definitely see a new surge of energy within you, and on an energetic level, you are also very ambitious. You are very career oriented. You are also at a point where you are planning, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, because this is about long term actions, consequences. And I don't feel that it's bad, but I do want you to be very careful with the people that you're dealing with, and make sure everything is done in a practical, methodical way, and don't take unnecessary risks. I feel that risks, overall, calculated risks would be okay. But if you're getting feedback from the external environment and you're not feeling it, trust your intuition, because you have, as a water sign, your card came up with the Chariot. This is representative of Cancer. And this is a situation where, you are going to have to be the one to make up your mind and to decide for yourself what is right for you. Inputs from other people can actually be stressful, so you want to mitigate the effects by being a little bit more decisive and directed with your energy and what you want your life to look like, rather than what other people are wanting your life to look like, because you're ultimately going to have to answer for yourself by the end of your life. So you want to make it in a way that is authentic to you, okay? External to your environment is a fire sign as well. So this is Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. So there might be some opportunities for partnerships, for travel, even for some type of something is in the works, and I feel there is a very strong fire sign in the midst. It can be male or female, but I feel like for a lot of you, it's a business association as well. And I feel like this person overall, it seems to me like it's solid. Okay, it seems to me as if you're crossing paths with them, and it's by no accident. It's divine intervention allowing you both to come together in some way, business or love or even friendship. But I feel like they're there to help you. They're giving you guidance. And the interesting thing is, you're a water sign, they're a fire sign. So this is polar opposites coming together and working together, and you're kind of forced to work to with one another and overcome obstacles and differences between you and them and the ways that you operate on an everyday basis. So it takes some getting used to, but once you know how the other person operates, then I feel like this situation can take off in a really nice manner. There is like obstacles at first, but I feel that if you work with it, okay, opposites attract. So I feel like it's not just fate, or it's not just a light situation, because the Wheel of Fortune indicates something that is fated. Um, Third cluster, we're dealing with the Prince of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords in the traditional tarot, and the Prince of Pentacles. So you have some business propositions, coming through, possibly with an air sign and even earth signs. I'm seeing this more as energies. I'm not reading this as people. And I feel that for a lot of you, there is some type of concrete plans that is in the works, you and another person. Okay, so once again, I'm not really getting, because they're pages and knights. Yeah, they're both knights. Excuse me. So they're both knights. So the Prince of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, and Knight of Swords. I feel like this is basically strategy. This is dealing with planning something and making sure that it has long-term sustainability, okay? The sword energy deals with ideas. The pentacles energy deals with like executing your ideas in a way that is practical, okay? There is a lot of movement happening in this spread for you. So I feel that for a lot of you, there's many interactions with other people, other signs, people who are very different from you. I also feel as if you're dealing, there's a lot of male energies here. So I don't know if I'm reading this for males or females, but I feel like external to your environment, a lot of masculine energies, a lot of ambitious, goal-oriented people. And I also feel that people who might be driven by status, who might be driven by financial, status, their financial standing, and it's just a lot of people who are like very fiercely independent. And I also feel that it might be just, going through the motions, trying to accumulate wealth. And you want to be careful about not neglecting other things in your life, such as your emotional health, your physical health, okay? So money is nice, but once again, it's not the end goal here. So you want to be careful about this. I feel like you're trying to build up a financial future, and there's a lot of movement, a lot of travel associated with it. And it might allow other aspects of your life that might be important down the line, relationships, family, stability, and health even, to fall on the wayside. So be very careful about that. Cancers. What is coming through as well is the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. And these are both nines, and they're both, I feel like one of them is you, and the other one is the person that you are dealing with, okay? So somebody, I feel, going back to what I mentioned before, there is somebody in your life, I feel like somebody who's quite beautiful, attractive. I feel like beauty, attraction, somebody who's very independent. And it seems to me as if they are very stable. They possibly could own a property already. They have a lot of grounding energy. Might be an earth sign, um, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and I feel like with the Prince of Pentacles here, there might be somebody making you an offer. Okay, this is an offer, partnership, or work situations in love or in work. But I feel like this person is very, very grounded, and this person is very accomplished. So whatever field they're in, they have a lot of money. And it can be an investor that finally comes through. It can be an investment opportunity that comes through, or a financial proposition, like, some type of a financier giving out money so that you can invest in something that you plan to get off the ground. And you're feeling very happy. I do feel though these are like opposing energies. It's a pentacles and also a cups energy. So this deals with somebody wanting stability and somebody wanting happiness. And it seems like, which one should come first? Do I achieve stability first, or do I want to go with it and just be happy for now without the stability? So you're making like an assessment here as to what you want to pursue first. And it's a great thing to do, but going back to this card, and I feel like it's kind of like they don't have to be mutually exclusive. They can work in conjunction with one another. The Chariot card is being pulled by horses of opposing colors. You have a dark horse here, and I know it's hard to see. And that's why I like to use the traditional Rider-Waite deck, mainly because the graphics is easier to decipher. So you have a dark horse and a white horse. And in this situation, you have the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. So it's like you don't have to sacrifice one thing for the other. They both can work together in conjunction, in tandem with one another in a very harmonious way. It just requires a little bit more creativity on your end in order to make this work. So find a way to make this work, okay? I feel like you're grappling with this dilemma. And I feel as well that, once again, think outside the box a little bit and strategize in a way where you can blend these two. Okay, so emotional fulfillment and financial stability can come in all at once. I feel that somebody is offering you both, but you're seeing possibly two different choices, or at least you don't see how it's going to work just yet. So the offer is on the table, and I feel like this might be you. If you are a Cancer, if you, regardless of whatever gender you're dating, okay, or regardless of whatever your sexual orientation is, but if you identify as a Cancer male, I feel like an offer coming through to you from a very strong person, somebody attractive, strong, stable, okay, that is going to give you a lot of stability. And you're happy about it, but I don't feel that you're going to be budging yet. So this is a smug card. This is a wish card as well. So this is feeling very, very happy, elated, and just kind of like, um, I know that when Cancers, even though, the best case scenario happens, you still play your cards very close to your heart. So you don't express anything until you're 100% sure. So I feel like at this point you're still thinking it through. If you are a Cancerian female, I feel that your financial situation is very, very stable right now. You have a lot of admirers around you. I do sense that. A lot of people think that you're very attractive, but I feel that they are afraid to approach you because they might feel like, they might feel like there is somebody else in your midst. Either that, or you might not, you might be married and you might be single, but they think you're attached to somebody else because I feel, and this is sexist, but I do sense that the men around you or the people around you might wonder, where does she get all this money? And I feel like that's coming through from their own insecurities, and that's why they're not approaching you. But I do sense you have a lot of admirers around you. Um, Moving forward, in terms of the advice here, so this is going to be read in a row. And what I'm feeling first is this. This is the energy that you are picking up, okay, or you are exuding. You're showing up in your own spread as the King of Cups. This is somebody who is very emotionally in control. This is somebody who doesn't let his or her feelings get the best of them. So the King of Cups, this is the water sign, okay? And I'm reading this more as your own energy, Cancers, because I feel like you're taking a step back, and I also feel that you know what you want at this present moment, and you crave a home. You crave stability. And I feel like if you've been on the roads traveling, not knowing what lies around the corner, and not knowing what city you're going to be in the next day, I feel that it's taking a toll on you. But at this point, you have that freedom of movement, so you like it. And I feel that you're making sacrifices to secure something that you know to be true and real, okay? And I feel like this is the month in which all the practical things that you've built up over time, all the sacrifices you've made, they're starting to come to fruition in a very beautiful, in a really good, enriching way. And you're seeing that, and now you can finally come home. And I also feel that at this point, you can no longer ignore those tugging, things in the back of your head, or in those things tugging at your heartstrings, where you're just like, I really want some emotional stability. I really want, somebody to share my life with. And it doesn't have to be necessarily marriage, but it's just like you want somebody to be there. You want something real on the emotional front. So you feel like the money is there, yes, but am I really emotionally fulfilled? Do I have somebody that I can count on? Do I have another person in case? I feel like, honestly, not to scare you, I feel like you might get sick because you're overworked, you're stressed out, you're traveling so much. And then when water signs get sick, well, when a lot of people get sick, actually, but I don't feel Scorpios getting grouchy when they're sick. I feel like Cancers, when you get sick, you really feel it on a heart, body, and soul level. So when you get like a cold, the flu, it's bad. And I feel like that's what happens, and it's forcing you to re-examine these things. When I'm sick, who do I want to be there with me? Do I have somebody in my life that can take care of me? So security, emotional security concerns are coming through for you, and it is coming through mainly because I feel like for the past 6 months you've been avoiding it. You've been trying to um, trailblaze, forge a path for yourself to secure some type of financial security. And these areas are being neglected. And that's why, when they come up, it means you need to re examine it, okay? But overall, the direction that I'm seeing here, we have Six of Cups, Eight of Wands, and the King of Cups. You're getting some communication. There is going to be talks, rapid fire communication coming through from somebody from the past. This indicates to me not only a past person coming back in, there's communication coming in mutually from you to them to you, etc. It's also indicative of a very strong connection that you have with somebody, where they're like the anchor in your life, and they provide a home. They provide, the love, care that you've been craving. And I feel like maybe you might get sick, and then you might revert back to this childhood state, and you're figuring out that, these are the things that are important to me, and I really need to take heed of that. So that can play out for, different people in different ways, but I feel like at the heart of it is emotional security. That's what you really want. And you've been avoiding that. If you've been doing that for the past 6 months, it's coming in and it's screaming out, and you can't really avoid it this month. But there is something from the past that is going to make you feel really, really good. But I feel that you're still not going to act on it because you have some things in your own life that you need to take care of And as a result, I feel like the communication is coming through from somebody from the past to you, and you're happy. It's making you very, very happy. It makes you feel loved and appreciated, and is bringing back that sense of nostalgia. As for what you decide to do, obviously that is going to play out individually. Um, for different people, for different Cancerians out there, but I do sense that whatever makes you happy, go with that, okay? Because feelings are real. And especially for you as a water sign, denying your feelings is denying a whole, um, your own truths, your own identity. Okay, so go with those feelings and see what you can manifest from them, because I feel like financially things are really stable. Things are very, very good. And I feel like your physical health, your feelings are being neglected as a result. Um, so let's just leave it at that and let's go on to the love readings, okay? I hope you make the right choice, Capricorn. Cancers, excuse me. So let's see what's going through for you for the love reading. So Cancer to do love readings with, and I really like it. I'm not going to be reading reversals, not with this deck. It's non-traditional, so I'm going to read images as well as try to incorporate the traditional meaning when I can, okay? Okay. So you've got some options. So first of all, Cancers, something that has ended in from your past is being re-examined, and you thought it was over. You thought it was done, dead, and now it's coming back for re-examination, which is good or bad. It doesn't always mean you have to go back to it, but I definitely feel like something is coming out of the woodwork, out of the blue, and it's it seems as if it's unexpected, and now it's rattling you emotionally just a little bit. I feel like you're rattled as a result of it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say, first of all, you have good people around you, and I do sense that it's not going to be too relationship oriented, because I do sense that Cancers, you really need to figure out what you want to do, and you really need to figure out what are you really sacrificing and to what ends, okay? So these are inner conflict playing out in your own life that you need to sort out first, and you feel like that's what you're doing so that you don't feel right now to enter a relationship or to talk about relationships. I feel like other aspects of your life, finances, travel, security, and all of these other things are mainly more important. So relationships are going to have to take a back seat for now. So let's talk about the singles first. So single Cancers. First of all, we have the Death card in the past position. This is something that you thought was over. I feel that there is something coming through, and it's making you reassess. Okay, this is a card about juggling. This is a card about managing everything, and it can be a finance situation, but we're reading this for love. So this is something coming through that is bringing you somewhat of a emotional, it's like testing the emotional waters is what I'm feeling. Something that is you thought was done and over with, it's emerging from the waters, and it is bringing up those warm feelings within you, and you don't know what you want to do with it yet, because like I said, relationship is really not on the front burner for you for this month. What's crowning this reading here is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is all about, I want to do this on my own. I want to figure things out for myself. I want to carve out a name for myself, to create a lasting legacy for myself. And I don't need other people. So I feel like this is what you're doing right now, because either by choice or just life has taken a toll on you, and you feel like I constantly need to be on the defense. And I feel that, especially for those of you who are single, you are encountering this type of energy, somebody who is quite combative, somebody who is very individualistic, and they are so, so strong. And because they're so strong, they tend to be a little bit stubborn. They tend to be fiercely independent, and they might not know how to work together harmoniously with you in a partnership. And I feel like this is the month in which you're encountering this energies, and you might um, it might come from within or it might come from the external environment. And we have a lot of people that showed up in the previous spread. So I'm going to say that, it goes both ways, I feel, because you're dealing with, first of all, there is the fire sign, and then there is the earth sign, and then the air sign. So you're dealing with different elements. And, it's understandable that this energy is coming through. But you're dealing with very strong-willed people, people that have had to go through many, many trials and tribulations in their own life, so they become a little bit hardened. And I feel like on an emotional front, they don't open up very readily, mainly because they've been hurt before. So that's the energy circulating around you. In terms of the energy going horizontally, that's in alignment with the rest of this. We have the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is about having a lot of options, having a lot of offers on the table for you. But I feel like these offers, I feel, don't compare to what you had in the past. So I feel like a past situation might emerge out of the darkness. It caught you off guard, and you have many options on the table, and you're reassessing. And at this point, honestly, I feel like a lot of you want to branch off on your own, and you're still trying to find yourself. You're going through like some type of lethargic, like soul searching journey, and you're okay being on your own, and you don't really want the hassle of dating. A lot of you might be traveling a lot, and you might not be in one place long enough to even cultivate anything. So you don't really want to start things that you can't finish. And I mean, that's a responsible thing to do, but I feel a lot of options are on the table for you, especially for female Cancerians. I felt it with the previous spread where, you showed up as the Nine of Pentacles, and you're very, very well received. And every time I see the Nine of Pentacles, I think of this person as somebody who's got everything, but they're missing one thing in their life, and they might not know it. And they are very, very distant, so it's hard for people to approach them, even though they're very attractive, very desirable, very stable. It's hard for people to approach her because they feel like she is guarded. Okay. You have a lot of options. So if you're single, go with one of these options. And I feel that you have to take a more lighthearted approach when it comes to love and relationships overall. And just, date around, see who you jive with, and try to take it from there. Don't go in it, expecting a full blown relationship, or even, I guess, like, take a more lighthearted approach and just see where it goes. So have a little bit more faith. Let your guard down as well. I feel like a lot of you guys have your guard up, especially the women. And the men that you're dealing with are a little bit, I feel like they're a little bit pushy. So don't let them push you into anything you're not ready for either. The foundation here, we have the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords deals with some communication, some type of communication breakthrough. This can be, if you've been dealing with a difficult person, or if you've been dealing with people who are very strong-minded, who are a little bit combative, I feel that there is going to be some type of truce reach between you and the other person that will allow the relationship to move forward and to advance to the next level. There is going to be a very strong discussion where you can hash things out, where you can figure out, okay, what do you want versus what do I want? Are we on the same page? Should we continue this? And is it possible for me to date this person? So, definitely some clear, succinct communication coming through that will allow you to step away from this juggling act and to go with one of your options, okay? For those of you who are in coupled, stable relationships, I do feel that I feel like there's some combative energy in your work environment, and you might be dealing with difficult clients, difficult people, coworkers, and things like that. And then when you come home and you're trying to vent to your partner, but your partner might not understand the full extent of the stress that you're dealing with on your in your work environment. So it's hard for them to be supportive. Um, I feel that, it's always good to vent to people when we have problems and things like that. But I do feel there is almost that emotional disconnect where, you're frustrated all the time and you're talking to your partner, but they don't really get it. It's like they're listening to you, but it seems as if they're kind of emotionally checked out. So I would say, if you're feeling this way, try to vent to somebody else, try to vent to somebody who understands what you're going through, or at least minimize the venting, because I feel like it is causing some type of strain within the work the relationship. Okay, I also feel that there is time constraints. You're dealing with a lot of projects, and there's some time constraints where you might not have time to um, talk to your partner face to face. I feel a lot of electronic communication as well with this Ace of Swords. So make sure you make the time to do that. I also feel like for a lot of you who are in committed relationships, okay, a lot of you might have recently, you or your partner might have recently left a job, and now one person is like carrying the weight of that relationship, which can be a little bit stressful. So I feel like some imbalances in the relationship when it comes to financial situations affecting the love in the relationship as well. So this is something that you and your partner have to figure out. But I do feel that communication is going to come through, which is going to allow this situation to turn around for the better. I also feel as well especially Cancerian women, if you're kind of like, if your partner has recently lost a job, I do feel that options will come in for him or her to land new jobs. So there's like some victory when it comes to going on job interviews, defending him or herself, and making a very good impression, and then landing options. And I just want to say that when it comes to those job options, they might be temporary. They might just be options that you do in the meantime, just so that you feel secure, just so you have money flowing through. But I don't feel they're going to be permanent. But either way, it is going to restore you or your partner's um, self-esteem, because I feel like the more than anything, whenever we lose a job, it hurts our self-esteem and we feel discouraged. So there is hard work to be had when it comes to, going back out there in the labor market and trying to find good work. There is something coming in, but I don't feel it's going to be permanent, but it's still very, very good. Okay, so not to worry, and more than anything, go back to the end goal here, which is that what do you need in your life to find emotional stability, emotional fulfillment? And I feel like for a lot of you, the automatic response is, financial security. And you can achieve financial security with a partner. You don't have to go out and do it on your own, okay? Working together as a unit, and also just figure out what you really, really need and what it is that you're going out looking for, and make sure those things are lined up so that you can attract the things that you want. Okay, so that is your overall advice regarding this love situation. If you like a private reading, please contact me at temperatestar@gmail.com, or you can visit my website where you can view my availability and to schedule an appointment for yourself. It is a very, very simple process. Okay, so there's a link there. It says book an appointment, and if you click on that, it'll take you to my calendar March. So Usually I'm booked now like about 3 weeks in advance. Okay, I don't have anything sooner because I only do 4 readings a day, and on an energetic level I feel like that's all I can handle right now. Okay, it is pretty draining. So I hope you understand. And also, I do have school right now, so that's my sole focus. A 12 card Celtic Cross with the same spread. It's just with the same deck and the same spread. It's just for the monthly readings. I'm going to use this method because it helps me narrow down the energies involved, okay? So I hope you like the new format. I hope you enjoy the reading, and I will be back for the mid-month reading. I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourself and get plenty of rest, Cancers. Get a lot of rest, okay? Bye-bye.